You open your retirement account on a Tuesday night. The number stares back at you. It's bigger than last year, but somehow it doesn't feel like enough tonight. You do the quick math in your head. Years left, income needed, lifestyle wanted. Something doesn't add up. You close the laptop slowly and lean back. Pour another drink. Sit with it. Most men your age never actually sit down and run these numbers honestly. You just did, and that quiet act alone already separates you from almost everyone in your zip code. Here's what nobody tells you about wealth in America. It isn't built in one heroic decision or one lucky bet on a stock. It's built at 7 specific milestones. Most men hit 2 or 3. The wealthy hit all 7, usually quietly, usually on time. I want to walk you through each one tonight in plain language, not to scare you into anything reckless, to show you exactly where you actually stand right now in real terms. Because the difference between retiring comfortable and retiring anxious almost never comes down to income. It comes down to timing on these 7 gates in order. The first milestone is the one nobody respects until it's too late. It's emergency liquidity at the right multiple of monthly expenses. Not 3 months, not 6. For a man between 30 and 55 with a family and a mortgage, the real number sits closer to 9 to 12 months in cash. I know that sounds excessive in a normal year. It isn't. It's the cushion that lets every other milestone actually work without interruption. Because here's what happens without it. A job loss at 47 quietly becomes a 401k loan. A medical event becomes credit card debt at 24%. You don't fall behind from bad investments. You fall behind from being forced to interrupt good ones at the worst possible moment. The healthy version of this milestone is boring cash sitting somewhere accessible and dull. The trapped version is calling your home equity line your emergency fund. That's not liquidity. That's a loan you haven't taken yet, secured by the roof over your family's head. The second milestone arrives between 32 and 38 for most people. It's the moment your retirement contributions cross $10,000 per year, consistently, without flinching. Not in a good year. Every year. Through the bonuses, and through the lean ones, and through the months your wife looks tired. This is where compounding actually starts to matter for you personally. Below this rate, you are technically saving money on paper. Above it, you are actually building something durable for your family. There's a quiet psychology here most men miss completely. The dollar amount matters less than the unbroken streak of years behind it. A man who contributes $9,000 for 15 straight years ends up far ahead of the man who contributes $20,000 twice and then stops when life gets loud. The third milestone is the one that humbles ambitious people. It's reaching 1 times your annual income saved by age 35, all in. Just 1 times your salary, not 3 times, not 5. The market doesn't ask you to be a hero yet at 35 years old. But the average man at 35 in this country is not at 1 times income. He's closer to half that, sometimes less, and most of the time he doesn't even know it. If you're at 1 times income at 35, you've already separated yourself from the pack, quietly, without announcing it on anyone's social feed. If you're behind on this one, don't panic yet tonight. The next milestone is where you can actually make up significant ground, and it's the most powerful gate of all 7 by far. The 4th milestone is the great catch-up window between ages 40 and 50. This is where wealth is actually decided in America, not earlier in your 20s or 30s. Your income usually peaks in this stretch. Your kids' expenses may still be heavy and loud, but your saving rate has to climb into the 20% range or higher. 20% of gross, not net, not after the vacation fund, 20% before you even see the money land in your checking account. The men who retire wealthy almost universally hit this rate somewhere in their 40s. The men who don't almost universally tell themselves they'll start at 52 when things calm down. 52 is too late for compounding to do the heavy lifting on your behalf alone. It can still help around the edges and add comfort. It just can't rescue the entire plan by itself anymore. Let me pause here for a moment, because I'd genuinely like to hear from you before we go further. Of these first 4 milestones, which one are you actually on track for right now in your own life? and which one is quietly nagging at you when you can't sleep at 3 in the morning and the house is dark? Drop it in the comments below. Just a number, 1 through 4, and a sentence about where you really are in your own life. Your honest answer might be the thing another man scrolling tonight needed to read. Sometimes hearing somebody else admit it out loud is what finally breaks the silence around money in a man's head. I read every single comment on these videos personally, every week, and I notice patterns across thousands of you that I quietly bring back into future scripts and future topics. Okay, let's get back to the milestones because the next 3 are where the real separation happens. The 5th milestone is the one almost no one talks about out loud. It's debt-free on everything except the mortgage by age 50. No car loans rolling, no credit card balances, carrying month to month. No personal loans hiding in a drawer or a forgotten app. This sounds simple on paper, is not simple in practice. The American lifestyle is engineered to keep you carrying 4 or 5 small debts forever. Each one feels manageable on its own. Together, they quietly steal the saving rate you needed for milestone 4 to actually work. The healthy version of this milestone is a man at 50 with 1 mortgage and 0 other monthly debt payments going out. The trap version is a man at 50 refinancing for the 3rd time to feel current and clever. Refinancing isn't paying off. It's repackaging the same problem in a new envelope, and by 50, the clock is no longer your friend on repackaging anything. The 6th milestone is where men start to feel real wealth for the first time in their lives. It's 3 times your annual income saved and invested by age 45. 3 times. That's the line where your portfolio starts generating meaningful growth on its own, almost regardless of what you keep adding to it. Below 3 times at 45, you're still rowing the boat by yourself. Above it, the current finally starts carrying you a little, and you feel the shift. Here's the advanced nuance most people miss completely on this one. It's not just the multiple that matters at 45, it's the asset mix sitting behind that multiple. 3 times your income sitting mostly in a high-yield savings account is not the same as 3 times your income in a diversified long-horizon portfolio. One barely keeps pace with inflation. The other quietly outruns it. A lot of cautious men hit the number and still fall behind because they parked it somewhere too safe out of fear. Safety that doesn't grow is its own kind of slow-moving risk. The 7th milestone is the quiet one. It's reaching what I call your freedom number by age 55. That's roughly 8 to 10 times your current annual expenses saved and invested, not income. Expenses, the distinction is everything. This is the number where work becomes optional, even if you don't exercise that option for another 10 years after you hit it. Most men never calculate this number in their entire lives. They calculate retirement age. They calculate Social Security. They never calculate the actual multiple of their real spending. Run it once tonight, just once. Take your honest annual spending and multiply it by 8, then by 10. Sit with that range for a minute. That range is the gate between working because you choose to and working because you have to. Every milestone before this one quietly exists to carry you through this gate. Now, here's the objection I hear constantly from men your age. Leo, this sounds great, but I'm already 43 and I've missed half of these gates. I hear you, and I want to be honest with you about that. Missing earlier milestones does not lock you out of the later ones forever. But it does change the strategy you have to run. If you're behind on milestone 3, you cannot also be behind on milestone 4. The catch-up window becomes non-negotiable, not optional. The men who recover from a late start almost always do it by ruthlessly compressing lifestyle for a 5 to 7 year stretch in their 40s. Not forever, just long enough to bend the curve back up. It's not glamorous, it's not on social media, it's not the version anyone posts, but it works. And it's how most quietly wealthy 55-year-olds actually got there in real life. There's a deeper layer underneath all of this that I want you to really hear tonight. These 7 milestones are actually about money at the core. They're about whether you've made peace with the fact that future you is a real person who depends on present you. Most men, deep down, haven't made that peace yet. Most men, treat their future self like a stranger they'll meet someday. They send him scraps and hope he figures it out alone. The wealthy man treats his future self like his own son. He sends him what he'd send his own kid, consistently, without negotiation or excuses. That shift is completely invisible from the outside, but it's the actual engine sitting behind every one of these 7 milestones working. I want you to do something tonight, after this video ends and the room gets quiet. Open a blank page, write the 7 milestones down by hand, not on a screen. Next to each one, write where you actually are. Not where you wish you were, not where you'll be next year if everything breaks right. Then circle the next one in line. Just the next one, not all of them at once. That's the only milestone you have to think about for the next 90 days. Wealth in America is built one gate at a time, not all 7 at once in a panic. If this video helped you see your own picture more clearly tonight, do me a small favor and hit the like button below. It genuinely helps this channel reach other men quietly, doing the same math you just did in their kitchens. Subscribe and turn the bell on if you want more of this kind of breakdown every week. I post regularly, and the next videos build directly on the foundation you just heard tonight. And in the comments below, tell me which of the 7 milestones hit hardest for you personally. Was it the catch-up window, the freedom number, or the one about treating your future self like your son? Thank you for sitting with this tonight all the way through. Most men scroll past videos like this one because the math feels uncomfortable in the chest. You didn't scroll. That matters more than you realize. The inner work you're doing on your money right now in private is the part nobody else sees, but it's the part that quietly decides everything in the next 10 years of your life. In the next video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 retirement account mistakes that quietly cost men your age 6 figures by 65. Most of them aren't about investing at all. They're about ordering, and once you see the order, you can't unsee it. Stay sharp, stay patient with yourself, and I'll see you in the next one, ready to work.